it's crazy seeing some of these small cars out in this. But then again, people got to go to work. You know, the show don't stop just because it's snowing like crazy. Like in this type of weather, you just make up your own lane. Just because, like, I can't see the street, I can't see street sign, I can barely see the street signs. I certainly can't see the markings on the street. I'm not even getting on the highway. The highway is all well. They out there. I'll take it back. They out there getting to it. It's 21 degrees outside, so all of this is freezing. I mean, almost immediately, as soon as it hits the ground, it's freezing. Yeah, man, you put these T-Rexes in snow mode, and they're just cruising. As long as you're, being mindful of the gas, you're good. Yeah, the brakes are perfect. No sliding, no slipping. Now, mind you, this is all snow. This is not ice or anything like that. So, I mean, and the snow is perfect. Ice. Last week, we literally had ice. Literally had ice last week. Last weekend, this time, we had nothing but ice. And that was a different story. But snow, oh yeah, perfect. You got the college kids. This is UNCC's campus. So that's why you see all these college kids walking across. Yeah, University of North Carolina at Charlotte. I remember being in college, getting caught in a snowstorm, having to walk to the damn food line. Well, not walk to it, but hop in somebody's car and go to it. Oh, they hit me going in backwards. Oh, only in North Carolina do you have two cookouts right beside each other. Only in North Carolina do you have two cookouts. You got the new one right there that they just built, and then you got the old one right there. And people are actually there. People getting food at cookouts. That's what's up. Even in the snowstorm, people want their chicken strip tray. I wouldn't mind a chicken strip tray right now. I'm gonna be real with you. But I know my mom is cooking. She'd kill me if she found out that I went to cookout. See, that's the new cookout. That's the new hotness. And that's the old one. The people out there getting food as we speak. Probably a bunch of college kids, to be real with you. For that, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not stopping. I can't. Got a lot of cars. Just not gonna make it. Got this car over here. Looks like this car went into a ditch. Ain't getting out. Or maybe they're having a snow fight. I don't know. Let's see if we can push it a little bit. Okay. Okay. You hear the whine? She okay. I don't think she was sliding. I just think the snow was taking the steering wheel a little bit. Because I didn't see the ESC flashing. It's moving, it's chugging. It's just moving a little slow. Let's see if I can just slide, squeeze through here. I appreciate it. That's the sound of the windshield wipers. See, people don't realize, man, people got to go to work, man. Like, we've got all sorts of, you know, essential workers. Nurses, doctors, law enforcement, firefighters, these people got to go to work. Rain, sleet, or snow, they got to clock in, you know? Oh, and you got that Trailblazer just flying. Like it's 85 degrees outside. I love this truck, man. I don't care what nobody says. It's heavy, don't get me wrong. Stock to stock, T-Rex versus a Ford Raptor R. The Raptor's lighter, and it's got like 10 or 15 more horsepower, so technically it's faster. I get that, but man, it's just something about Dodge, man. It's something about what Dodge did with that supercharger, the whine. It's what Dodge did with the interior, the luxury parts, you know. This one happens to be fully loaded for the most part. Ford SUV. Snow's still coming. Shit, that's not bad. I need to get that ice off of the damn windshield. Pretty bad over here. Look at that big ass tree right there. Completely down. Oh wow, claim the car. Car is completely in the dead. Looks like a Nissan Altima. less traveled. You know what I mean? I don't think that they've been back here to, you know, scrape these parts of the streets really well. So it's pretty bad back here. Plow, snow plow. That's the word I was looking for. Plow the streets. Got a Subaru on deck doing what they do best. Jeep Wrangler, obviously. See, this is a good time to have like one of those high visibility jackets. So if you have to pull over or something, people would be able to see you much better, you know, against the contrast of the snow. I'm saying, ain't nobody stopping at the red lights. He definitely took off before that red light went to green. Shit, okay. I didn't realize that was a curve, couldn't see it. That was a curve too, yep. Oh, I see the damn storm drain now. Rear park sense unavailable. All that snow. Looks like we got a bunch of snow popping up on Park Sense. Charlotte, North Carolina, 2026 snowstorm. Got probably about 4 inches already on the ground, 5 inches. T-Rex doing exactly what it's supposed to do, no issues. Snow all packed up in the wheel well. My whole rear sense situation back here is gone. I can't, look how deep it is. Shout out to AWE. As you can see, the entire state just shuts down when we get all this kind of snow. I haven't even had to use my light bar by Oracle yet. She handles like a beauty. Shout out the Nitto Grapplers, Belgians, doing what they do. It's getting cold, I'm getting out. Well, that's it. I'm going home. I'm getting out of this. It's getting wild. So it's been your boy Knockout 360. This is what, Snowstorm Snowstormageddon 2026 Charlotte, North Carolina edition, January 31st. If you're looking for a T-Rex and you're curious whether or not it does well in the snow, in the cold weather, take my word for it, it does. It does perfectly, no issues whatsoever. As always, been your boy Knockout 360. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, man. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Alright, let me do like a winter survival guide for the homeless. Let's do this. I want to do this in like an organized way. So I'm gonna start off with what to do if you have no money, no resources. You're just out on the street, broke, and it's winter, and you got nothing. And then we'll end off with living in a car, what I do to stay warm Now, yeah, I'm in Florida, but Florida gets cold too. And the thing is, I can tell you this from experience, and I've slept the coldest, the coldest night I ever had was when I checked my phone in the morning. It said overnight it was negative 17. So it's not like I can't handle cold. Wait, let me move the tag to the back. Um, it's not like I'm, I can handle real cold temperatures. So, but here's the thing: when you're living in Florida, and it's and it's 90 degrees most of the time, when it gets down in the 30s, it feels like zero. You really do you adjust to the climate. So when I'm in New York, my tolerance to cold goes way up. Your body adapts. When I'm in Florida, my tolerance to heat goes way up. Now, you cannot be tolerant to heat and cold at the same time. But I gotta say, my tolerance to cold overall is way higher now than it was before I lived outside and worked outside all winter in New York for years, for 10, 15 years. You really do, um, you build a tolerance to the cold and it stays with you. So, but, you know, we're dealing with the winter in Florida too right now, and it's getting down overnight. It's getting down into the upper 30s, and that's cold. So now let's say you're on the street, you have no survival equipment, and you have no money, and it's dipping down below freezing. When you have nothing and you don't have the right stuff, you should not try to sleep outside. Um, what I used to do before I was properly equipped was I would sleep on the train in New York. It sucks. It's hell on earth. It really is horrible. Everything about it is horrible. You can't just lay down on the floor or on the bench. If you can, but the cops can arrest you for that. If you're sitting up, you can get away with it. The cops aren't going to bother you. So I had to sleep sitting up every night, and believe me when I tell you that gets old. It's this is why I'm so content and happy nowadays. I get to lay down and sleep every night. And boy, let me tell you, when in the beginning when I was homeless, I could not get a good night's sleep. So at first, I didn't want to sleep on the train. That's you know that's I really didn't want to do that. And so I was trying to sleep at Penn Station. The problem with sleeping at Penn Station is the cops come and wake you up every hour or so. You cannot get a good night's sleep. They don't want you sleeping in Penn Station. And let me tell you, I searched every inch of Penn Station into the deepest parts of Penn Station, and the cops always found me. So for my first 3, 4 days homeless, I couldn't get a night's sleep. And so then I gave up on Penn Station. It was too cold for me outside. I was under equipped. I didn't have the proper winter gear. I didn't have a sleeping bag. I didn't have nothing. And so sleeping at Penn Station was not working. And so I decided I've got to start sleeping on the train. Now the problem, when I was first homeless, November 2nd, 2012, Hurricane Sandy had just done a bunch of damage in New York. New York, Long Island, New York City, and a bunch of the subways were flooded, so a lot of the trains weren't running. So I had to sleep on the A train. And the problem with the A train, now, the A train's okay to sleep on, but it's not my first option. If you're in New York City, in my opinion, the best train to sleep on is the E train. The E train goes all the way from Jamaica, Queens, does a whole circuit around the entire New York City, and goes to the World Trade Center. So you're doing this big long route around the whole city, and it takes a long time. And the other upside to the E train is nobody bothers you. There's a lot that the E train is like a moving hotel. There's so many homeless people staying on it. At least there was when I was doing it. And so that was my top pick. And it was also the train I was most familiar and comfortable with because I was used to taking the train from Jamaica out to Manhattan because where I lived in Long Island, unless I want to take the Long Island Railroad, which is expensive, I could take the bus from Valley Stream, where I'm from, straight to Jamaica, Queens, and then I could get on the train from there. So that was the cheapest way for me to get to the city. The cheapest, fastest, you know. And so the E train was kind of I was used to that train. I was comfortable on it. And so, but when I was first homeless, I had to sleep on the A train, and it sucks because every every couple of like the A train's got a nice long route around the city too, but the problem is every couple of routes it goes by JFK. And when it gets to JFK, they make everyone get off the train and they switch the trains out. It probably has something to do with like um anti-terrorism type tactics. You know, they don't, in case somebody did something to the train or rigged it or something, they want to switch it out. And I guess I really don't know, but it used to. But here's the thing: you could still get a good 3-4 hours sleep on the A train before that happens. It doesn't do the JFK stop every route. I don't know exactly how it works, but it's usually about 3 or 4 hours between that stop. So you can at least get 3-4 hours at a time, which beats 1 hour at a time. I can tell you that much. So when I had, if so, whatever city you're in, if there's some sort of public transit you can sleep on, that's what you're gonna have to do when it's freezing temperatures. Eh, You know, I'm telling you, do not try to sleep outside without the proper stuff. The weather doesn't care. It'll take your life from you. It's relentless, you know? And that constant wind in New York City, it's always just sapping your heat away, man. Like, there was winters where I'm telling y'all, I forgot what it was like to be warm. I was so cold for so long. So if you got nothing now, try the public transit. There's that. Now here's the other thing. What we used to do, we would sleep in the ATMs. Now that is not ideal either because people don't, it's just people don't want to come in the ATM to get their money and there's a bunch of homeless people sleeping. It makes them uncomfortable. It used to make me uncomfortable. Fortunately, my little crew of homeless people, we were very clean cut, good looking. We had a good looking little clean cut crew. I had my boy Ben with me and I had my boy Ethan, who is my evil twin. And the three of us, we even though we were in our 20s and 30s at the time, we look young. Everyone thought we were like, young homeless kids, and so they kind of took it easy on us. I'll never forget, it was one New Year's, I believe it was 2017 going into 2018. It was a rough winter. Me, Ethan, my evil twin, and Ben were staying in this ATM. And but Ethan wasn't there yet. It was just me and Ben in there, and I'm sitting in there packing up a bowl. Me and Ben are about to smoke us a bowl and then chill in our little warm ATM. So I'm packing up a bowl. Here comes a customer, so I kind of put it away, and me and Ben just sit there. And the customer comes in, doesn't say a word to us. We're like, "Hey, how you doing?" He doesn't say nothing, and me and Ben are just waiting for him to leave. He goes to the ATM, he gets his money out, and as he's walking out, he hands me $100 bill and he hands Ben $100 bill. And he's like, "Happy New Year, fellas. I hope y'all luck changes," or something. And me and Ben were like, "Oh shit, thanks. I needed that 100 so bad." The weather was so brutal at this time. I'm telling you, you can look at the historical weather, 2017 going into 2018 in New York City, between, I think it was like December 24th and like January 9th. It was below freezing like 9, 10 days straight. And it was brutal. And for that 9 or 10 days, I couldn't work. So my money was just going down and down and down and down. And, At this point, it was New Year's. It was a rough December, and I was running out of money. And this guy hands me 100. In order for me to make it through till January 9th when I could work, and it was worked out so perfectly. Another thing that happened during that time, I'm back out working. It's like January 10th or so. I'm broke, and I'm out of herb. And one of my buddies that I know in Central Park, he's an older guy. He's a native New Yorker, so we always, we just became friends. Like, the native New Yorkers kind of stick together in New York because there's not a whole lot of us left. But so, anyways, he comes by one day. Now, his son had moved to California, and his son was doing a whole grow operation in California, like legally. He was selling herb legally in California. But, anyways, it's, in the Humboldt Mountain area or whatever. He was part of that whole thing. And so this guy comes into Strawberry Fields that day where I'm working, and we're sitting there talking. He's like, "Yo, I got a Christmas present for you." I was like, "Oh yeah, what is it?" And he hands me a eighth of some of the best herb I've ever smoked in my life. I'm like, dude, I needed this so bad right now because I haven't been able to really work much all month. I was like, it was just a miracle. And so that kept me and Ben nice and fried until I got my money back up. Ethan didn't smoke. But there was that story. So, if you ain't got nothing, geez, this video's going fast. Let me try to get to my points. All right, so now, if you're making money and you're getting your resources up, you got to get you at least a blanket. But my suggestion is you get a sleeping bag. Now, before I was making a lot of money, the sleeping bag I had, I paid $30 for it. It was a Coleman. It's just the generic Coleman that I got. There used to be a Kmart under Penn Station, and I bought that Coleman for $30, and it was rated for 50 degrees. But let me tell you something. That sleeping bag that's rated for 50 degrees is better than a blanket. And so I would make it through the winters with just that, believe it or not. But I had other things to supplement it because I was starting to make pretty good money. So I bought a military poncho liner. Now, a military poncho liner is just it's kind of a blanket, but it's water resistant. And between the poncho, now you just got to Google military poncho liner. You'll see what I'm talking about. I don't feel like, digging taking y'all off and taking y'all back there, but I've showed my poncho liner in a million videos. But it's a very lightweight military blanket that folds down into like nothing. It barely takes any space. It's one of the most valuable, useful pieces of equipment there is on Earth. It's a blanket, and really, with just the poncho liner, you could probably still sleep it down to about 50. But between the poncho liner and the 50-degree sleeping bag, now you're looking at that's a $60, $70 investment. Poncho liner is about $30. That Coleman 50-degree sleeping bag is about $30. You're probably going to be good down to about the 30s, but you got to be careful. Look, everyone's different. That worked for me, but I wasn't comfortable. Here's another main aspect of it. You can't be sleeping on the bare concrete. Even it'll pull you the heat right out of your body, right through that sleeping bag. So you got to put down a piece of cardboard or something. I had I had a C2 Summit sleeping pad that was inflatable, and it blows up in like 5 breaths. So that was my tactic for getting up off the concrete. I had this Sea to Summit sleeping pad, a very useful thing. The problem with those is eventually they pop. You know, every single one I've ever had, eventually it pops, dude. And it's still useful because it's still got padding in it, but you know, I don't know. Do you guys know of any of those inflatable sleeping pads that doesn't eventually leak? Because every single one I've had, eventually they leak to the point now where I've still got one in my bed back here under my mattress, but I don't put air in it because it's got a leak. And so But I gotta say, even the fact, it's still better than nothing. Even with the leak, you just don't put air in it. It's still got foam padding in there. But if you ain't got none of that, then you put down cardboard. Put down as many layers of cardboard as you can deal with. In a place like New York City, if you need cardboard, you're gonna find it. You just gotta walk around. It's around, dude. It's always around. It's one of those things you can always find it. So if you ain't got nothing else, put down cardboard, and that will insulate that cold concrete, that cold ground, which is, you don't want to be directly on it, even on the sleeping bag. Now here's the real trick: you got to get those hot hands. It's the hand warmers that, it's like the little bean bags filled with whatever chemicals they put in there. You open them up, you shake them up, they warm up. Now, when I stayed that night and it got down to negative 17 degrees, I checked my phone in the morning. I was like, holy shit, I knew it was cold last night. I didn't know it was negative 17. Now, the thing is, I believe where I was sleeping out on Central Park West, it probably only got down to about 5 or maybe negative 5. Because I know where they're taking that temperature reading from in New York. I know Central Park like the back of my hand. And there's a weather station in Central Park where I'm assuming that's where they got that negative 17 read from, which is a higher elevation, and it's windier up there. And I was like, yeah, it probably was negative 17 over there, but where I was at was probably closer to 0, you know? But either way, 0 degrees with nothing but a 50-degree sleeping bag and a poncho liner and a little Sea to Summit pad on the ground. And I also have my military poncho up to block the wind as my windbreak, as my shelter. Still, the hand warmers is what kept me alive that night. If I didn't have the hand warmers, I would have stayed in the ATM that night. Now, my buddy Ethan, my evil twin, he don't spend no money on nothing like hand warmers and stuff. His system is he's just got like multiple sleeping bags that he puts inside each other, and he sleeps in that. And I've never tried that, so I can't tell you if it's good or bad or what, but Ethan is still alive, so he's doing something right. But so me, I'm making money usually every day. I'm trying to make money every day. Some days I make more money than others. But when the weather is below fucking freezing, below 32, I would still try to work, but I wouldn't make a whole lot. I'd be lucky to get 1 or 2 portraits. Now, if it's below 20, it ain't even worth going out to work because I might not make anything, you know? I'm probably, at best, I'm gonna make a couple portraits. It's barely worth being out there in below 20 all day. But anyways, so now, just having the hand warmers is not enough. You got to use them right. So, you got to make money, bro. You got to find a way to make money. I've got videos about it. Look through my videos. Maybe I should make a new updated one. But if you're out on the street homeless, you got to make money. Worst come to worst, you got to panhandle. You got to beg. You need money. It's that simple. So now in the winter, you buy the hand warmers. Now, what do you do with them? So that night, I knew it was going to be a real cold night. So I put one in each sock on my feet. But here's the main thing. I put one in each armpit. Believe it or not, I just instinctually figured this out over years of sleeping out in the cold. But, I've talked to ChatGPT about my survival tactics, and ChatGPT is like, oh wow, you instinctively came up with the military survival tactics. This is what they teach. And so you put the hand warmers in your armpits because there's major arteries here. Your armpits are actually like a major body temperature regulator thing. You ever notice when it's hot out, you're sweating in your armpits a lot? When it's cold out, I don't care how cold it is, your armpits are always warm, And it's because there's major arteries running through there. And so when you put the hand warmers there, what's happening is you're adding heat there, and the blood that's going through those major arteries is warming that blood as it runs through there and spreading warmer blood throughout your body. Now, the other major spot for the hand is, believe it or not, up under your nuts, in between your legs, more major arteries there. So when you've got those spots covered, you're warming your blood and it's pumping through these major arteries and it's sending warmer blood throughout your body. And so those are the spots in your armpits and up under your nuts. And so for a homeless person, I was always pretty, not always, but once I figured things out and I was doing portraits, I had a lot of money. I spring, summer, fall in New York doing portraits, on a shitty day, I'm making $100. On a good day, I shit you not, I wouldn't even count the money. I'd make so much, I didn't even bother counting it. I would just organize it to where the 20s were together and the 10s were together, and I would just keep the fucking wad on me. I didn't even bother counting it. I didn't even care. It didn't fucking matter. I was spending and making so much money, it didn't matter to me. So, so things like hand warmers to me at that time wasn't that big a deal, but it was one of my major expenses in the winter. And when you get towards the end of the winter, I didn't make a lot of money in the winter, but I usually made enough in the spring, summer, and fall to get me through the winter, and I complement my savings with whatever I could make during the winter. But let me tell you something, every year right around March, I was like flat broke. I was down to my last dollar more. I do believe I ran down to my last $2 bill. Yeah, I do still have time left. This is it, all raggedy. Look at this $2 bill. I was down to this. This was my whole net worth. More than once. This was all I had. And, then I would go out that day and I'd make more money. I didn't have to spend my $2. But if worse came to worse, although I got to the point where I was like, I ain't spending my motherfucking $2 bill, bro. I've had it for too long and I ain't spending it, and I still have it. And so, because this lady that worked at the McDonald's where I used to go, she collected $2 bills, so I was always like, well, if I gotta spend it, I'm gonna give it to her because I know she likes them. But that was my last $2 bill, and I managed to never have to spend it, and I still keep it on me to remind me how bad things used to be for me. But so, if you can get the hand warmers, you place them properly, armpits, under your nuts, it's going to help you survive. But that alone isn't going to do it. You got to have. Now, my suggestion, if you got money, get you a sleeping bag rated for 32 or below. Kelty, I think the name there's the Kelty makes one. It's called the Space something or something. That's the one I have. It's a good one because it's goosed down and it folds down into nothing, But I didn't have all that shit in the beginning. It took me years of trying out different equipment, ditching it, giving it away when it wasn't good. And, so if you got money, and here's the other thing. Now I live in a vehicle. My equipment doesn't, it's changed because now I've got solar powered generators where I can run an electric blanket. I just bought this heating pad I'm going to try out. I've got rechargeable hand warmers. But as a backup, I keep those hot hands. That's my backup system. I use electronic heating stuff now. I've also got a space heater that it's super energy efficient for a space heater. It only pulls 200 watts, but on my solar generators, that's going to pull 20 percentage points off my battery per hour. That's only going to run for 4 hours, so I don't even use the space heater. I use the electric blanket and the electric hand warmers. Those things, the blanket pulls about 50 watts, so that's only going to drain my shit about 5% an hour. So that's fine. I've got a 300 watt solar panel on the roof, and I've got a portable 300 watt solar panel, so as long as the sun's shining, I can charge to 100 every day from 0 if I have to. So, but, you know, you got to watch the weather. If it's cloudy and I can't charge, well, then I got to use my backup system, which is my Hot Hands hand warmers. And I get the super hand warmer, the big one. And I'll put the big one right on my stomach, and the Hot Hands, I'll put, you know, my homeless medicine, two in my socks, one in each foot, one under the armpits, one under the nuts. You know, and that's how you do it. But now, now, as far as clothes, this Under Armour stuff is really good. It's like having a wetsuit. I got the pants to match, you know? So, I was doing the same thing homeless. I'd wear my Under Armour base layer, and I guess... Alright, let me just show you all this stuff real quick. Hold up. Now, it's cold in Florida right now. Hold up. Alright. Hold up. Wind. Yeah, alright. I need to get, like, a better dry. So anyways, let me show y'all what I'm talking about. I'll show y'all this stuff. So, this is an electric blanket, and it's alright. I don't know if there's probably a better one, but hold up. These are my electric hand warmers. They're magnetic, so they just kind of stick together. They charge slow. They usually take a couple hours to charge, but you hold that, and that turns it on, and you got 3 heats. You got 1, 2, 3. I keep one. They last all night. So there's that. I just bought this heating pad, and I'm gonna try that out because it pulls less power than the blanket, but it seems to get warmer. So I'm gonna give that a shot and see what's up with it. But this is a North Face hoodie that I've had for so long that the North Face label has been worn off it, but it's like a good thin fleece hoodie. Yeah, there's the North Face. But it's a thin fleece hoodie. It's really good. Now that is my Patagonia fleece. So, you know, I would put that on, and then I would put this on over it. And this, since it's fleece on the inside, it kind of velcros to that fleece, and it becomes like almost like a winter coat. Now, on top of that, I've got this, which is a waterproof Gore-Tex North Face jacket. And so this is the outer shell that goes over everything, and it kind of seals everything in. Now, you know, I got the Under Armour base layer pants on, but I've also got, let's see if I can even, I don't know if y'all can see that, but there's a pair of Billabong snowboarding pants that they're super warm. But so, you know, now that I can afford good stuff, but most of that stuff I had when I was homeless anyways, but that's my system for winter survival. Oh, and here's my dope-ass fox fur hat. This, which someone gave me, is a really good winter hat. You'd be amazed what a difference it makes just having a fur hat. I'm telling y'all, dude, like, you'd be shocked at how warm. Let me switch this. You would be amazed at how warm, hold up, that this hat is. And someone gave it to me for free. But yeah, this is one of my favorite possessions, dude. It's, I was sleeping on the sidewalk, and this guy's walking by. Not sleeping, I was in my sleeping bag, just chilling. This guy walks by, he goes, "Yo, you want a hat?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Honestly, I didn't want it. I wasn't looking at what he was doing, but I was assuming he was just gonna give me one of these hats, and I already had one, and I was like, yeah, I'll take the hat, and then I'll give it to someone who doesn't have it. So I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll take a hat. And he hands me this. I'm like, damn, you serious? He's like, yeah, that's a fox fur hat, bro. He's like, that's an expensive hat. He's like, be careful with it out here. I was like, dude, I appreciate it, you know? And that's my favorite, one of my favorite possessions to this day. And so I guess that's the end of this video. Um, if you have any questions that you really want answered, try to get it within the first 30 comments. Or, you know, or I could answer it. I always answer at least the first 30 comments. I usually end up answering the first like 50. So I appreciate y'all. Thanks for the subs. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the tips. Thanks for the channel members. Thanks for the Patreons, especially. Um, and yeah, that's the end of this one. I appreciate y'all. Buddy, something's wrong with your van, pal. This thing's making a weird noise. But yeah, I appreciate y'all. And I'll see you on the next one. Everyone have a good one.
Good morning, Night! Today's body count lottery rounded out to a solid and sturdy 30. 10 out of Haywood. Thanks to unabated gang wars. One officer down, so I guess you're all screwed. Cause the NCPD will not let that go. Got another blackout in Santo Domingo. Net runners are at it again, poking holes in the power grid. Good morning, Night City! Yesterday's body count lottery rounded out to a solid and sturdy 30. 10 out of Haywood. Thanks to unabated gang wars. One officer down, so I guess you're all screwed. Cause the NCPD will not let that go. Got another blackout in Santo Domingo. Net runners are at it again, poking holes in the power grid. While over in Westbrook, trauma teams scraping cyber psycho victims off the pavement. And in Pacifica, well, Pacifica is still Pacifica. This has been your man, Stan. Join me for another day in our city of dreams. Good morning, Night City! Yesterday's body count lottery rounded out to a solid and sturdy 30. 10 out of Haywood. Thanks to unabated gang wars. One officer down, so I guess you're all screwed! Cause the NCPD will not let that go. Got another blackout in Santo Domingo. Net runners are at it again, poking holes in the power grid. While over in Westbrook, trauma teams scraping cyber psycho victims off the pavement. And in Pacifica, well, Pacifica is still...
Hey, everyone. Welcome to Info Flash. Say, did y'all lose power yesterday, too? Yeah, when the lights went out, there I was cooking dinner. Oh, well, if we're getting specific, I was nuking a half-eaten burrito I found wedged in my couch cushions. Yeah, I know I shouldn't have. After all, I heard microwaves zap out all the nutrients. But, hey, it kills the cockroaches, too, so, you know, you win some, you lose some. Anyway, what was I... Right, the power outage. Apparently some plant out in Santo short-circuited. Heard the EMPs were knocking AVs out of the sky. The NCPD says the blackout led to 120 mil in damages, all in all. The real tragedy, though? I can't stomach a cold burrito.
120 million eddies? Hot damn. And just to get your hands on one dude. You got some cojones, V.
Hanging in?
Yeah, same old, same old. Pad's rusting up. Gonna have to grab some more sheet iron.
Man, how's it we live? In a hood with some fucking cream hotel, and we're wasting away in these tin cans.
Hey, leave them. I'm just happy I don't have to worry about no city gangs coming out here.
Yeah, instead you gotta worry about acid rain and where you're getting your next can of scotch.
Can't have everything. Just gotta keep on keeping on.
Yeah?
What's up in the big world?
trading exactly?
You'll never trade in nothing exactly. Whatever lands in my lap, honey. Times are tough. Gotta pinch every last one. Trading anything I can get my hands on.
What's it like being ruled by two gangs?
When two people fight, Dead closes his eyes and wait for a winner. That is me.
New episodes every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Only on WNTV.
Need an injector.
I recommend enhanced somatotropin. You should do something about those biceps of yours.
sell modded hormones?
On occasion, to certain clients. The kind who have unleashed their inner beast. If you know what I mean.
Okay, that will be faster.
They know you're watching them?
This is our turf, our home. We need not to be ghosts here.
It is you. Must be ghost. Be silent. Invisible.
Know the way in? Was told you would.
Yeah, garage in the back.
But shh. Quietly, yeah?
Anything interesting happen over there?
Since we are here, all quiet.
No one in? No one out?
Well, they went out for supplies once.
Get to work.
Okay, I'm in.
I see. The camionette. Check it.
Right.
Camera and corridor. Avoid it.
It even work? Said this place is abandoned years ago.
Now it is not. Animals fix their eyes.
Wait, who is that?
Who you think? The runner we want try to invade. With the extra eyes we give you, it is fine for now.
So, he knows I'm here.
Someone tries to cut you off.
Been waiting for this! Shit-kicking pack or what?
Got you here. Mind telling me what we're looking at?
It's a flow map of Pacifica. They hunt Agwe.
Who is they?
Netwatch. They always out to focus.
What are they looking for exactly?
Internal data forts. If they crush our eyes, they take Agwe and the entire net. They return to the dark time of Potmos.
You probably got, what, web crawlers, code mirrors?
We do. They also want them.
How bad's it look?
I do not know how much data they pull, but their map is not complete. They still not have source validation.
So you got police problems?
Police? You believe that in this city, they shield the net for good of all humankind?
That's what the ads say, isn't it?
Netwatch is corp, paid for by other corps to protect corp interests on the net. What is there not to understand?
Wow, Netwatch. Real tongue loosener for you. Okay, so what's on me to do?
You must reach the agent. Easy now to find him. Look at the map. He is in cinema.
Step away now. This isn't your fight.
Ned!
What? Placide, what?
God, pushed out. The runner know you are here. Hunt him.
Can't you scorch him via the net? He's gotta be jacked into the van.
I cannot piece his protection. You must find him. Face him.
Okay, so what do I do once I find him?
I will tell you. Ajaman tries to cut you off. There is a gate behind the camionet. I will open it. be scared now. Come on. I swear I won't completely kill you.
Okay, now to the second floor, the cinema. Eyes open now.
What's going on?
You have company soon. Scan her right away.
That bad, huh?
She must have a weak spot.
No, I didn't say that. Come at me! Bring it!
You like that?
See? What's going on?
Try to scramble you. Keep focused. What I cannot do, no. Sit somewhere with Alpha and deal with her.
You like that?
Shut the fuck up!